Hey everybody, I have just finished up playing about 5 hours of Granblue Fantasy Relink, and I have to say, I am wonderfully surprised. I didn't know what to expect, and I had tried the demo, and I was very overloaded and overwhelmed by the sheer amount of battle chatter that I instantly was like, this game is not going to be for me, despite how pretty and how interesting it looks. But because I'm stubborn, I decided to purchase it, and wow, it has been really satisfying in these first 5 hours, and I just can't wait to experience more. This is an impressions video where basically I'm going to be talking mostly about the music, but I'm also going to be exploring some of the visual aspects and some of the gameplay aspects that have really excited me and made me want to continue playing this. It's been really remarkable. So obviously, first up, because this is a video game music channel, we're going to talk about the music, and this is lovely. The music here is so expressive. Not only does it highlight the sequence of events, but it also highlights characters, personalities, and worlds. The music in this game is absolutely an adjective. It helps us describe the beautiful scenery that we see. It helps us feel like we are rooted in this world, and it helps us feel connected to the characters. It's really interesting because I didn't realize how much the music of Granblue was so important to its ethos. And in the particular case of this game, there's so many wonderful battle themes. There's so many callbacks to the mobile game and how diverse and interesting each of these pieces are. You're getting modernized classical music with drums and with electric guitar when you thrust yourself into battles. And actually, that's a really cool thing to talk about too. As you're moving into battle, you'll be hearing the overworld theme for the specific world you're in. And then as you thrust into the battle, that's when the drums kick in and launch into the battle theme. And then of course, depending on the size of the creature you're fighting, that battle theme actually will change. Quakedile. And that was really interesting. I also feel that this music did a really good job of not being ambient, but also not being so melodically driven that it was distracting. There was a segment there for about 2 hours where I was just looping in town, and I swear I did not get tired of that theme. And I think that's really interesting because it's a short loop that has a singular melody that has a bunch of different instruments layered over top, so you never really feel like bored of it. But listen to the way the melody comes in. You get this accordion sound to it, so the whole thing is just really warm and pleasant, isn't it? And I think it really radiates a sort of peaceful energy, which is really welcome and really nice. What a great track. At least not in the first 5 hours. Now, talk to me in about 20 or 30. Maybe we'll have a discussion about if the themes are redundant or boring. But that's a pretty long amount of time to be listening to a piece of music, 2 hours, and not get tired of it. That's a testament to this amazing soundtrack. So often we get into the trap of the difference between ambient and melodic music. Typically when we hear ambient music is describing a place. Melodic music tends to be describing characters or being really pertaining to us as participants in this game world. One of the things I really like about this music is that it actually harkens me back to an era of games that I grew up with the Final Fantasy series. Those pieces of music and that music in those games has this wonderful capacity to be melodic. And melodic music is so interesting because while it does typically sort of clue us into characters that we're playing as, when it's used in environments, it's really satisfying. And you get this amazing feeling of being in the place and being an active participant in it, rather than when it's just ambient music where you're only going to be like the world is just there and you're in the world, but you're not actively engaging with it, right? It's sometimes ambient music can paint a picture, but in the case of Granblue Fantasy Relink, that ambient music is coupled with melody, which makes us both feel present in the world and involved in the world. I'm telling you, melody focus here, melody forward, that's the way to do it. In terms of visuals, I can't say enough of it. This game might as well be an impressionistic painting. It's incredible. You look out when you first enter a new area and you see this beautiful, beautiful, like jagged rock in the distance. And because it's in the distance, it looks like a Monet painting. It looks like it's literally hand drawn and hand painted. It's incredible. You're flying on your ship and you look out onto the clouds, and the clouds from far away look like they're clouds in a painting. And I find that to be just so incredible. There's this beautiful mix of not really cell shading, but this beautiful mix of cell shading mixed with modern graphics that just give it this beautiful touch. It's not too anime-esque, but it's also, you know, not dull and drab. It's bright and colorful without like hurting your eyeballs, so to speak. It's really just actually stunning. God, that's so fucking pretty. Right here. It's a prime example of what I was referring to. It's the same theme, the like building in anticipation of like the plan. But now listen, we get like, I don't know, you can hear the wind. You feel like the determination of this cast of characters that have to go and search for the islanders who fail to escape, right? That leads us to the gameplay and the combat, which honestly is fantastic. It reminds me a lot of the Trials of series. Tales of. Fuck. You know, you push a button and then you push a corresponding face button, and then that does abilities. You mix and match the skills. It's really satisfying. It's fun. Just obviously dodging, there's rolling, there's blocking. The linking of skills with other characters is incredibly satisfying and makes you feel like a total badass. It's been 5 hours. I've had the absolute time of my life. What an awesome game. I can't wait to play through this. It was something I've been looking at for a long time. Wasn't really sure where I was going to land on it, and I am just so incredibly impressed, and I cannot wait to play more. I'm going to just digest this game so much. Stay tuned here on the channel for a more full musical review where we kind of listen to and dissect more of the tracks. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later. Bye.